Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. My name is William Bioshan. Tonight we'll be looking at the topic dressing and grooming for HR professionals, projecting confidence, competence, and credibility. I'm excited to introduce for the first time on this prestigious platform as a facilitator, and I'll be reading our profile very. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Informal Natural is a human resource management professional known for blending structure with style and excellence and also authenticity. Ladies and gentlemen, she's recognized for analytical mind, supportive leadership, and unwavering commitment to excellence. She has over 10 years experience, progressive experience, and a strong background in people management, organizational development, and event operations. In addition to international from entertainment companies, and she's also the co-founder of an all solutions limited, which is a facility management firm. Informa plays a key role in aligning talent, culture, business strategy for lasting impact. Beyond that corporate experience, Informa is also very passionate about how personal representation influences professional confidence. She believes dressing and grooming go beyond appearance, they reflect on mind. Ladies and gentlemen, so tonight on the topic dressing and grooming for HR professionals. Let's welcome Ifeoma Naji. You have
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Diosha. I really do appreciate. Like you said, this is my first time on the platform. Yay. Thank you. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining this session. This session is all about dressing and grooming for HR professionals, and it will be focusing on projecting confidence, competence, and credibility for every single HR professional. Now, for this topic in particular, I'm very excited about this session, and I'll say because our appearance, how we show up, it literally says a lot about us before we ever say a word. So in HR, your image is your brand. Your image says a lot about you. This session is going to explore how thoughtful attire and grooming enhance professional standing and effectively conveys the values of our organization. So let us get straight to it. Let us get started. I hope everyone can hear me. If you can, please, could you just drop an emoji or something so I know that I'm very clear and I'm very seen. So I would like this session to be very, very interactive. I would like to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much, AB. I would like to hear your thoughts. I would like to know what your thinking is, how you're reasoning. I want everyone to engage in this particular session. So first off, let's talk about perceptions and first impressions. Now, what element initially captures your attention when meeting someone new? What is that thing you notice about the person? Is it their clothes? Is it their hair? Is it their style? Is it their confidence? Is it their aura? What exactly do you notice? Let's mention like the first three things you notice about the first three things you notice when you see someone. What are the first three things you notice when you see someone? Can you just drop in the chat room? I want to see the first three things you notice when you meet someone. So who is going to say? Let's see. Anybody? Let's say the first three things you notice when you meet someone for the first time. Is it the hair? For me, for example, the first thing I notice is, oh, thank you. Thank you. Uncle K says their dress, their looks, their appearance. Okay. So whether their outfit is all put together, whether their looks are all make sense. Oh, wow. Mary. Okay. Mary notices Smell. Lovely, lovely. Yes, that is very, very, very important. So hair, face, and smell. And Uncle K is dress, looks, and appearance. Anybody else? Anyone else? What else do you notice? Anyone else? What else do you notice when you meet someone? The first three things you notice when you meet someone. It should be, hello, do we have people here? I want, like I said, I want this to be very interactive. I want everyone to drop their own opinions, their own facts and all. What do you notice? I notice the dressing. For me, the first thing I see is your outfit. Does your outfit make sense? Is it put together? Was there a reasoning or a thought to it? I always notice that. Then I'm also like Mary as well, the smell. There should be, it's your smell. Is it overpowering? Is it overbearing? Or is it just subtle? Is it just nice? Thank you so much, Salami. Salami says their looks, the way they carry themselves, exactly. What's the confidence to it? What's your swag? How do you move with the way you're dressing? So the thing about dressing is, you know when you have your outfit on, does anyone notice that there's this, even if you were slouching before, there's this extra height that comes with knowing that I am well dressed. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, yes, girl, you ate and then some. You're making sense. So it's all part of it. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your impressions. Thank you. So we're going to move to why does this matter? The strategic value of professional appearance. Why does this matter? Now, for HR professionals, appearance is not merely superficial. It's a critical tool for building effective workplace relationships and maintaining organizational integrity. Now, our appearance directly affects how people perceive us. The confidence, whether are we people of authority? Do people want to listen to us? Do they even want to trust what we're saying? That's what the appearance does. And when you look put together, people actually want to hear what you want to say. So your dressing doesn't have to be overly expensive. Nobody says you should break the bank because you want to look good or feel good. Not at all. You have statement pieces. You have basic colors. You have foundational colors that you can put together and make it make sense. So HR is the face of the company. You are the initial and continuous point of contact for employees and for candidates. So your presentation should directly reflect the company's professionalism and standards. Also, like I said, it influences trust and respect. A polished look speaks volumes. So you're telling stakeholders that, I'm a person of authority. You can trust what I say. My words make sense. And it also shapes immediate credibility. So first impressions are very, very powerful and long lasting. You see someone for the first time and you always remember that particular thing about the person and it stays with you. So if you meet someone and their appearance just doesn't go well with you, because whether we like it or not, you immediately create a perception about someone just meeting the person for the first time. So we need to be very mindful of how we dress and how we appear to every other person. Now, your dressing must align, your personal dressing must align with company or corporate identity. Why do I say this? Now, because we all have a sense of style, we all have a personal image or personal presentation about ourselves. There's a particular way you dress, there's a particular way you like to dress. Now, with your personality, you should make sure your personality aligns with the corporate identity. Now, does it merge with the culture of the company? Does it merge with the goals of the company? Does it merge with what the organization is actually saying? Because HR is an extension of that company brand. So your professional image should embody the values and maturity level of your organization. Very, very important. You want to be able to speak what your organization does. You want to be able to speak about your organization through your dress code. You want to ensure that your style aligns with the organizational culture. So you want to be sure that, anything you're doing, you're not what's the word? You're not coming in and changing the whole organization, or you're not coming in and changing your own style. You're coming in and saying, okay, my style, how do I make sure that my style fits into the organizational culture? And how do I speak this to everybody or anyone that meets me? So as HR, we should know that we are the brand. We are brand ambassadors. So from recruitment to management meetings to conversations, we embody what the company stands for. So balance individuality with professionalism. Your personal style should also merge with that organization's culture. And so things like, if your organization is all about, creatives, being lax, being relaxed, then your style should also embody that. If it's a conservative organization, your style should also embody that. If you are in an organization that is very, very, what's the word, very strict or very firm or very strong on the let's say the suits and then the dress codes, you also want to embody that. So you don't want to do otherwise, or go off track. You should make sure it is neat. You should make sure it is stylish. You should make sure it is modest. You just want to be very mindful about that, and then make sure that everything you're doing and embodies your organizational culture. Now, there are different um, industries. So several industries have several dress codes. And then you go from the corporate to the finance to the creative. Any industry you enter into, you should be very mindful that this is how they dress. Whether we like it or not, there are certain dress codes for various organizations. And then the appropriate level of formality varies significantly across different sectors. So HR, wonderful HR, must interpret and adapt to these industry standards. So what organizations or what industries do we have? Now, we have the corporate and the finance. Now, corporate and finance, the banks and all, we know they're all about the suits. Now, for them, the suits speak authority. This suit conveys trust. The suit conveys stability. And that's why most times you see that accountants are always dressed in suits. And then they even go as far as certain colors speak volume, and most of them are in certain colors. You see the grays, you see the deep blues or the navy blues, you see the blacks, and there's this aura about them when they wear the suits. Now, mind you, I'm saying suits. The suits are still tailored, they're still fashion, they're still bespoke suits. They're not just coats that they are wearing. So if you're entering into the corporates industry or the financial industry, then you know that that is the dress code that they have there. Now we go to the creatives and entertainment, just like where I am. Now, for us, it's all about smart casual, corporate casual. And then this is very nice because it now gives you the opportunity to put your your personality into your outfit, that artistic flair about you. And then people can actually see you from the way you dress. Now, in the creative and entertainment industry, we're not very strict on, it doesn't have to be the suits and the ties and all. No, it's a bit more relaxed, it's a bit more casual, but you have certain pieces that you put together in those spaces. Like where I am now, ours is business casual. And then when I say business casual, I mean like you have the blazers, you have the shirts, collared shirts or the collared t-shirts. You can get away with chinos, trousers or pants. You can wear the sneakers. Yeah, that is fine for the creatives and the entertainment. And also the tech and startup. Now for tech and startup, I will say theirs is a bit more elevated casual. They can have the jeans, the blazers. For them, they are prioritizing innovation and comfort. while still remaining polished. So they have this flair. So if you notice, most people in the tech industry, there's this flair about them, there's this aura about them, there's this steeze about them because there's a bit more relaxed, but they need to be free, they need to be fast, they need to be creative, they need to be, you need to see their personality in how they move and how they dress. You get that in the tech or the startups. Now for hospitality and retail, here you always tend to see branded uniforms. Now the branded uniforms or prescribed looks, like I will call it, are essential for their identity. So this is their own corporate identity, and for them, it aligns with the consistent customer experience. So they have their branded uniforms, branded t-shirts or shirts. You always tend to see this in hospitality or retail. And then depending on the level or the structure that they operate with. Now for manufacturing and industrial, here, safety first. So for here, compliance, you have your safety uniforms, your gears, your reflective jackets, your helmets, your boots. They focus on safety here. So for them, it's all about the practicality, and adherence to site rules are very, very paramount. So depending on the industry you're going into, you need to be mindful and also understand their dress codes. Now, I would ask this quick question. Which industry dress code do you think challenges you the most? Which one do you think you will struggle with, or which one do you think you struggle with already? Let me hear let me see what people are saying. So, which industry dress code are you struggling with, or have you struggled with in the past? Let's see. Do we have anyone? Which industry dress code do you struggle with, or which industry dress code do you find challenging to go into? There are people that are like that. It's not everyone. Sorry, what?
Okay, my name is Grace. I want to just give a little contribution from the question, just to answer.
Okay. Hi, Grace.
Okay. For me, it's people working in the hospitality.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, because
Why?
for someone like me, I might probably on Fridays, especially on Friday, I might want to wear native wear. You know, some of the workspace allow
Uh-huh.
you on Friday, on Thursday. But people in hospitality, they choose to wear a certain set of dress code, just the way you have explained. So me
Yeah.
working in that kind of work, I might be a little bit challenged. But anyways, I'll just have to just find my way around to adapt to
All
traveling.
right.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you so much, Grace. So for Grace is hospitality. And Mary says, I'm in consulting and I still struggle. Mary, you still struggle with the style. Really? Is it that bad? Adebola says bank. Oh, you have to put the O to it. Yes, Adebola, I actually agree with you on that part. For me, I find the banking industry very challenging, as in I'm not a suit person. I can have the blazers and the jackets, but you see that suit, I cannot do it at all. Florence, you have your hands raised. What industry do you find challenging?
Good evening, everybody.
Good
For
evening.
me, I find the tech industry quite challenging.
Seriously?
Yes, I worked in the bank before, so I'm used to like the corporate, the suits, and looking all
Uh-huh.
serious. And then now I'm HR in a tech startup, and then you see people coming to work with jeans and and Crocs. So I find it really
Very
ridiculous.
hard.
I'm still trying to adjust, but they come to work sometimes, and I'm like, did you really show up like this?
Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That is the dress code, and you cannot even take it away from them, honestly. But I do understand that contrast for you, like going from the suits and well put together, and then someone strolls in with the jeans and then the t-shirt, and you're like, oh my God. BB Dollar says, I'm in financial services. but don't wear suit. Oh, fantastic. That's nice. That is very, very rare. But I'm sure you guys do like a business casual kind of thing. So you guys are a bit more lax, and that's fantastic. Um, Me and suits 5 and 6. So exactly what we're talking about. Several industries and dress codes and people is so I've actually met people that they're very, very picky about what industry they're going into because of their own personal style. So they don't want to get into an industry where they're struggling because they can't really. It's like going from here to the other end. Um, Oh, okay. Financial services has actually been undergoing an evolution over the years. Yes, and that's actually very, very good to be able to accommodate various styles and, various personality. Queensley says, me having to wear corporate in a radio station. Okay. Hmm. All right, that is a very different one for me, I will say, because most people that I know working at radio stations are either very, very casual or corporate casual. So to be very, very corporate, that's a new one. That is really a new one for me. Okay, well, I wish you all the best, Quincy. I'm sure you'll be able to handle or figure something out. So all right, so let's continue, guys. Now, dressing guidelines. There's several guidelines for people, but for me, it's well, how like there's nothing cast in stone. Let's put it that way. It's not cast in stone, but these guidelines are just to help you, understand and navigate various industries and even your personal style. Now, business formal, business casual, these two tend to just merge. Various people tend to go in between these two. And then for the business formal, you have more of the traditional suits, you have more of the blazers, the pencil skirts, the, structured dresses, ties, and most times reserved for board meetings, depending on what industry you're in, external client interaction, or highly regulated environments. Now, business casual, on the other hand, has to do more with blazers, tailored trousers, chinos pants, dresses, skirts, collared shirts, blouses. Even the footwear is even a bit more relaxed than the business formal. And this is where most HR functions or professionals find themselves in. It's polished, but it's still very, very comfortable. So now I added this part, strategic choices. Now, if you're not even sure how to go about it or what to do, there are foundations you can build on. So you can stick to neutral and corporate friendly colors, the navies, the gray, the black. Now those colors are foundations you can build on. So you can have your navy blue dresses, or your navy blue pants and a white shirt and a tie, depending on what industry you're in. Or you can have chinos pants and collared t-shirts. But it's best for you to understand your style, understand your company, and then know how best to put the two together. Now, another thing is footwear. Now, I don't know, sometimes people just go overboard with footwear or just mix and match it all. And it makes sense for some people, but I think sometimes it can just be overly done. And you also want to be mindful that whatever outfit you're putting together goes with the footwear. It's just like ladies, whatever outfit you're putting together goes with the makeup. You don't want to have overly flashy makeup and then your outfit is all subtle and calm. There'll just be a clash whether you like it or not. So those are just certain guidelines to help us, navigate the whole grooming and dressing. Now, grooming. Grooming is the foundation of professionalism. The details that people take, it actually communicates your discipline, it communicates respect, it communicates professionalism. It tells someone that you were very intentional about your outfit or your dressing for the day. Now, for the ladies, your hair and your makeup should be clean. It should be neatly styled. Your makeup, if you do wear makeup, there's some people that don't wear makeup. God bless you. If you do wear makeup, your makeup should be, it should be cool. It should be inviting. I have seen so many things done with makeup these days. It's literally very, very scary. But it's a corporate environment, it's a work environment. There are places you go to and your makeup can be that heavy, not a problem. But there are offices you go to, there are places you work at that you also need to be very mindful of your makeup. Now, your hands and accessories, you wear your rings, your nails should be neatly done. There, the colors of your nails, people are very picky. I've been in organizations where, you had to have a particular length to your nails. Now, did I find it weird? Yeah, kind of, but that was what it was for them. It didn't mean that I came in as a HR and then it became permanent or we ran with it. It actually evolved. But getting in there, I found out that that's what they ran with, and it was like, okay, fine, not a problem. I've gone to organizations where, and this one was actually a property development company. Every single female there had to wear heels. And I don't mean kitten heels or 2 inches. No, they had to wear 4 inches and above. Now, for them, that was their own way of, you know, um, branding the company. Every single female, from front desk to the CEO, they all had to wear heels. And I actually went there for an interview. Now, getting in to the company, first of all, and seeing that, I immediately told myself that this was part of their dress code. This was part of their policy because everyone that passed me, they all wore heels. They had the weave on and all. And that is it for them. That works for them. So you can't come from somewhere else and then see that and not know immediately that this is part of their dress code. It's already embedded in the policy. So it's either you can deal with it or you can't. So if you're someone that doesn't wear heels, just know that that company or that organization is not for you. Now, facial hair or facial hair from your beards, for guys, please, your beards, let it be nice. There are people that have beards, but it doesn't look all bushy and everywhere. Neatly cut, well trimmed, nice haircut. If you braid your hair, please braid your hair. Enjoy braiding your hair, but let it be neat, let it be tidy. Hygiene. I know someone in the beginning said smell. That's the first thing you notice about people. Yes. Why do you want to be moving around and people are actually smelling you negatively? You want to have a nice smell. There has to be something attractive about you. There are perfumes. Have you gone into, or have you met someone or gone into a place or an office where you are choked by the smell, like the perfume that someone put on? Sometimes it can be a bit too much, and people need to be very, very mindful. Yes, you want to smell good, but you do not want to choke the next person because you are trying to smell good. So your perfume has to be, I don't want to say use light. Yes, let it be light enough. Let it be accommodating to the next person. Strong scents can be very, very disruptive, especially in a shared office. So you want to also be very mindful of that. Let people smell, let them enjoy the way you smell, not be choked by the way you smell or run the other way when you come in. Now, this is just visuals of various outfits, polished appearance, good posture, nothing too flashy or revealing, subtle, sophisticated style. I think a few people forget that sometimes, especially I don't want to say especially the females, but females, you want to still look put together. It doesn't have to be overly exposed or everywhere for people to see the way you are, or people to understand the kind of person you are. It doesn't have to be too flashy. Your accessories should be very nice, modest. You can see this pictorial image here. There are various outfits here. Like that lady smack in the middle, that's not like me. And all, dress nice, look good. I love heels, wear the heels, look very, very lovely and wonderful. For the guys, if you have your hair, if you make your hair braid hair, guys with braided hair actually look very good. If it's done well, they look very, very good. But all these are different examples of how you want to look or how you want to feel. Now we're going to visual presence or virtual presence, sorry. Now, in this era of hybrid, there are virtual meetings and then there's the physical meeting. But let's not forget, because it's a virtual meeting, you're not put together. Hi, I'm talking to all of you guys here, and this is an online session. Now, I'm going to ask this question. What was the first thing you noticed about me when you joined this meeting? What was the first thing you noticed about me when you joined the meeting? I'm actually very curious, since we're talking about virtual presence. What was the first thing you noticed about me when you joined the meeting? Anybody? Let's see. What was the first thing you noticed? My hair. Oh, thank you. My background. Okay, yes. Beautiful looks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I like the background. Yes, that was very, very intentional. Very intentional. My top and everything. Okay, so my hair, my look. Okay, I like you guys like my hair. That's good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So you see, now for me, that hair though, what happened to the hair? You will tell me after, I hope. So you see, you have to be very intentional, even if it's a virtual meeting or a virtual conversation or discussion, whatever it is. Professional attire above the waist. Now, we're having this conversation. Nobody can see below. Well, this way is way above the waist, but nobody can see below. Nobody knows what is there. So you want to be sure that whatever people can see actually does make sense. So you dress the way you would dress if you were going to work. You focus on a professional outfit. It doesn't have to be the blazer or the jackets and all, but you still need to look very professional. And then your shirts, your tops, it doesn't have to be wrinkled, it doesn't have to be rumpled. It should be very nice. Now, camera friendly colors. Choose solid colors, moderate colors, light blues, grays, colors that are appealing to the look. And that way it doesn't contrast with your background. Now, my own background is the topic for today. And I was intentional about it because I wanted to be sure that I had a very good background for everyone to see and not just there. So, this is a virtual meeting. You can blur your background. There are various things to use for your background, but you also need to be very, very mindful. Now, a controlled environment. You don't want to be having a meeting and then people are walking past you or someone just opens the door from somewhere or pops out. Remember when we had the COVID era and then so many things that were happening during online meetings and people forgetting that they were actually online and their cameras were on. All those things you want to definitely avoid. So ensure your background is neat, it's professional, use neutral virtual backgrounds, use blurred out backgrounds, make sure that your immediate environment is very, very tidy so that people don't see what they shouldn't see. Now, your posture and your engagement is also very important. Maintain a good posture. Because it's online doesn't mean you should be slouching and then, just relax and like, okay. You can see what difference this does. Like, I've been sitting up since, but now I'm just like, let's be talking. But no, you have to maintain a very good posture. Position your camera at eye level. You're looking directly at your camera and speaking to whoever it is. So practice direct eye contact, even if it is online. Very, very important. Now, all this, direct impacts of image on HR responsibilities Your dress code speaks volumes. For example, recruitment and onboarding, you're the first point of contact. Your dress code will build immediate credibility with the candidates. The candidates will see you and be like, oh, if this is the HR of the company, not bad at all. Not bad. I wouldn't mind joining this company. If your hairstyle, your smile, even that smile is part of the grooming, is part of your dress code. It says volumes. It's setting a standard for the organization. I will give this example. I remember one of the times I went for an interview. Now, it was somewhere on the mainland. I got there, the office was fine. Okay, not bad. And then it was my turn to go in. And I'm called by this lady. And I look at the lady. The first thing I noticed, her look was all, it just, there was no effort to it. For me, there was no effort to it. Her shoes were terrible. The skirt and top she wore, it just looked like she rolled out of bed, put on something and came. And then the next thing I heard is, so my name is this, the HR of the company. Wait, what? You're the HR. Ah, no, no. And I'm like, there and then I just noted in my head that probably that's why you're leaving, or maybe that's why they're trying to employ someone. Because if you're the HR of the company and you look this way, then I'm worried. I'm worried. What is it says a lot. So you need to be mindful. People are coming in, people are seeing you. You need to portray that image. You are the brand ambassador of that company. Very, very important. Now, employee relations. You have your colleagues in the office. How do they perceive you? What do they see about you? What does your dressing say about you? It promotes the trust and respect, especially during sensitive and confidential discussions and conflict resolution. They want to be able to trust the person they're talking to, because from the way you dress, they're like, okay, they can tell so many things about you. Your dressing actually sells you, whether you like it or not. Now, for executive and board meetings, it reinforces authority and then competence when interacting with high-level stakeholders. You dress for the role. You dress like you own the company. That is how it is. You dress like you own the company. So your dressing speaks volumes. You come into the meeting, you're meeting with the C-suits, you're meeting with, investors or stakeholders, and you come in and they already see you and like, not bad at all. She looks very good, or he looks very good, he looks very put together. Then you open your mouth and speak, and they're hearing everything you're saying. But your dressing has already.
If there any other question, then I think we are done for the time.
Okay. Whoever that is, you're muted. Okay. So your dressing has already said a lot before you've even opened your mouth to speak. So we need to also know that your dressing speaks volumes. If you don't dress well, you've sold the wrong perspective. Now, if you're someone that is always handling trainings and development, even at the office, or you handle seminars and all, how you dress, number one, the first thing, it has already said so many things to so many people before you even open your mouth to say anything. So your dressing has already said who you are and what you're doing there, and they've not even heard you. So it encourages confidence in the people that have come for the training. It gives them, it even engages them, it keeps them engaged because they're really interested to hear what this person that is looking good in front of me is actually going to say to me, or, is actually going to portray today. So positioning HR as a knowledgeable and authoritative source of guidance. So let's always remember your professional image is a strategic asset. It is a strategic asset. Use it wisely to lead with authority and approachability. That is what we always need to remember. It's an asset to you and then the organization as well. So we have another checklist, and this is a grooming checklist. Before you step out of your house, before you step out to the office, before you log in to that online meeting, run through this. Is your outfit neat? Is it tidy? Are you wearing a crisp shirt? Is it well ironed? Are there no blemishes, no stains on it? You need to check that. Your hair, is it tidy? Before I got on this meeting, I had to check my look. I had to make sure I'm very mindful and very demure. So I checked my look, my hair, looked at the mirror. I'm like, okay, she's all good. She's ready to go. You need to check that. If it's a physical meeting or discussion, are your shoes well polished? That's that is something people tend to overlook. Are your shoes well polished? Is that black black? Is it making sense? Now the light scent, do you smell nice? Is your perfume welcoming? Not that it's pushing people away. Is your perfume welcoming? Do you have that confident posture? Do you have that aura? Is that aura about you? Do people see you coming? There are people that actually hold your attention. They haven't said anything, but they hold your attention. Just seeing them alone, you're already engaged. Very, very simple, but these are very powerful checklists. This is your professional armor. So you need to wear it and wear it boldly and wear it very loud. So now, um, we're going to quickly talk about dressing for interviews. We've talked dressing, 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 but physical and virtual, dressing for interviews. This is somewhere that for some people do make mistakes, and we also need to be very mindful. First impressions count. Dress as if you already belong in the role. Dress as like you want to be addressed. Very, very. So for physical interviews, if you are unsure of the company or where you're going to or what you're going to meet there, then it's best for you to go neutral and meet navies, grays, black. You see those colors, you can never go wrong. You can always build on them. So look classic, look confident. A black dress with pop of color somewhere, your shoes, your jewelry and all, you're good to go. You also need to know that um the way you look speaks volume. So keep your accessories very minimal. Ladies, you don't want to carry those big chunky earrings and be going for interviews. Leave that for the party, leave that for the all nights and the dinner dates and what have you. But let your accessories be very minimal. If you're wearing accessories, your jewelries, your rings, don't pack all your five fingers with the rings. It's not necessary. Like I said, leave them for the party. Go for your interviews looking very classic, looking very confident. Ensure your clothes are clean, they're pressed, and they're well fitting. Now, for virtual interviews, lights, very, very important. Backgrounds, your best friends. Make sure the room is well lit. You can see that my room, my environment is very well lit. That's what you want to do. Avoid loud prints. Let your prints, your outfit, your top, because it's the waist up, let it be just subtle enough to keep the interviewers engaged. Check your camera angle before you start. Don't start your meeting. Your interview is at 10 a.m. and you're logging in at 10 a.m. Absolutely wrong. If your interview is at 10 a.m., you're logging in, you're joining 10 minutes before so that you're well prepared in case you have any hitches or any issues along the way. You can, before your interview, you've even checked, you've gone to the Zoom meeting. You can start the meeting. You can start a meeting. It doesn't have to be that meeting. You can start a meeting and use that to check your camera angle, use that to check your background, use that to check your lights and all, and be prepared, be ready. Check how your outfit looks via the camera and see whether that outfit you're putting on actually works or actually makes sense for that, the video and the interview. So you want to do all that. And then don't avoid distractions. If you're leaving with someone and all, let the person know that, oh, I'm having an interview at so time and I need to lock up. If you're going to have it in your office, because we always do, people have had interviews in their offices, you're looking for somewhere quiet, somewhere secluded, so you can quickly have the chat and then move on with your life. But always be intentional about the decisions that you're making with regards to dressing and grooming for interviews, physical or virtual. Put your best foot forward at all times. Now, I want to ask this quick question. Um, what is one outfit or grooming mistake that you have seen during interviews? Something that, whether it's physical interview or an online interview, what is that outfit or grooming mistake that you have seen? I want to hear, I want to see what people are saying about this. So what is that grooming mistake or that outfit error that you have seen during interviews? Anybody? Where are my people? Hello. Where is everyone? You guys have been engaging. Where is everyone? No one. No one has seen any mistake. Oh my word. What? Okay, Vivi Dollar. Now that was a lot. Even I literally screamed. That was a lot. A man wearing a red suit. Hallelujah. That must have been so blinding. Like, and the guy must have come in and everyone was like, oh, Jesus. Black belt on brown shoes for male. Oladapo. Black belt on brown shoes. Okay, so are you saying that if it's a black belt, it has to be a black shoe, and a brown belt, it has to be a brown shoe? Is that what you're trying to say? Does everyone agree to that? Footwear, yes, footwear. Heavy makeup. Oh, Oluwaseun Kehinde. Heavy makeup and long lashes. I have seen that way too much. See that I find it very annoying. Why should I see your lashes before I see you? Why? Why? Wearing a damask, what? Wearing a damask suit and bow tie. Oshe baddest. No, as nah, that is epic. I don't think I think the person forgot they were coming for an interview or something. Wearing a book tube and a transparent top. Queensley, please, can you further elaborate on that? What kind of what kind of interview was this? Was this maybe for like a bartending kind of thing? If it's that one, maybe probably. Like, can you just help me out here, girl? A candidate putting on a black hoodie in a dark room. Well, the person just wait, hold on. Was it a creative entertainment industry? Was it like a tech industry? They could get away with that. I don't think they're really rigid or strict about that. Someone wore just a BYC on a virtual interview. Y'all have gone through a lot. Y'all have seriously gone through a lot. Loretta, unbuttoned shirts. You mean like the first two buttons? Or do you mean like the whole shirt was unbuttoned? Long lashes, Mary, I agree. Yes, dressing 101. You do not wear black belt on brown shoes. Thank you. Thank you, Kunle. You do not actually. 101 is wrong. Wearing, what? Did I see chosen somewhere? Wearing, did I see chosen? I'm not sure.
Yes, you
Cho
saw children.
I saw chosen.
Yes.
Well, it's he or she was a chosen. They had to let you know that they are chosen. People not dressing accordingly. Candidates should at least check the industry and find out how people dress. Suits on canvas. Someone wore a big religious green on his finger and it was bold. So Anita, yes, I actually do agree. People really need to check the industry that they're going into. And that's why I said it's not all industries are for us. If you know you can't, then don't bother. Whatever interview you're going for, be very mindful. If you can't, if you go online, try AIs, chat GBTs, everything, and find out about the organization. And then that way you know what to do and how to go about it. People just up and dress. You can't just dress anyhow. Like Quincy, yes, I'm chosen. Traditional wear on Monday to interview. Wait, see, so Kunle, you see this parts. Someone actually said that traditional wear is, what's the word? Is it indigenous, or it's the African outfits. It's our own suits. So yes, you can wear it on any time of the week. And so what do you now wearing traditional wear on a Monday? Person probably thought that was fine, and not a and not a problem at all. Very long sleeves. Anita, the this your long, that slit must have been next to next to no comment. Like you literally saw the next thing afterward. So yes, these are, you guys have actually gone through a lot. You've seen so many mistakes and so many errors during interviews, and you can imagine all these things that you've seen. I'm sure some of you addressed this immediately. I'm sure some of you just kept quiet and couldn't wait for these interviews to be over, and you'd be like, thank God. And everybody just bust laughed after the candidate left. But these are dressings, these are what people do. And even some HR professionals, sorry, even some HR professionals dress like this. So I remember my interview to this, flight time where I am currently. Now, I love wearing anklets. Can we stop? Then we all change our dress code policy for the company. Then we should all change hmm, dress code policy. Well, let me go back to what I was saying. So the first time I came for my interview, now I wear anklets. I wear anklets. And because of that, I know that not everybody, I've actually gone to an interview. No, so me, I'd rather go as myself because I know I'm not going to take that anklet off wherever I'm working. It's not possible. It is a part of me. So it's either once I go in there and then you see it and you don't like it, fine. You can tell me not to bother coming back. In fact, there was one particular interview that the lady couldn't contain herself. Like I got that squinting of face when I walked in with my anklet because I wore a skirt and a top, and then she saw the anklet and then she just had this look on her face like, this one cannot work with us. But she didn't throw me out. We still went ahead and had the interview. Obviously, I never heard from them again. That's how it ended. And this was actually a food company. So it was even weird. Like, what's your own with it? It's not like I'm going to cook the food or something, but hey. So I was saying where I am now, flight time. Now I got to flight time and I see the COO. I love my COO. Now her ears, she has like piercings, both ears. Need I say, I felt so at home as soon as I got there. Like I was not bothered at all. I was like, you know what? I love it here already. So they don't mind the colored hair. They don't mind your piercings. The guys coming with their piercings and all. They don't mind your anklet. That's your business as long as you deliver. But you cannot go to another company and dress like that. It is not possible. So know where you're entering. I knew it was entertainment. So I knew that it wouldn't be too rigid. But oil and gas, some of them, yes, don't mind. Some do mind. So sometimes it boils down to the MD or the ED or the COO at the same time. So yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, I was just reading this. So all these things, and then sometimes you go into an organization and then you can actually evolve their policy to a certain level, depending on what it is that they like or what it is that they want, or what the conversation with the CEO or the COO or the MD, and then you can also bring it to light. So it might not be anything drastic, or it could be stage by stage, but you can also make a change and let it be discussed and agreed amongst everybody. But every single organization, every single industry, they have their dress code, they have their style, and you want to be able to reflect that in the way you also appear. So that being said, my closing thoughts will be your dressing and grooming are silent forms of communication to everyone. And as HR, we can't preach professionalism and not reflect it. Whatever you say, you should be able to back it up. So let's remember, confidence starts before you even speak. People see you and should be able to see the confident part of you. They should be able to feel you before they hear you speak. Keep showing up polished, grounded, and authentic as HR professionals. And with that, I say thank you very, very much. And I'm open to questions and any discussions that we want to have from here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. That was an excellent, very excellent session. Thank you so much. You know, when the topic just came to my mind, my initial thought was that one, would people want to listen to a webinar around dressing, especially HR practitioners? Isn't this going to be something that will look like we all already know and comfortable and familiar with? And then I decided to put out the topic, and you decided to take it on. So I knew we were in for a ride, and of course, so much value, so much value. So before we quickly take comments, questions, and contributions, I put down 2 or 3 questions. So let me just quickly mention them. The
Okay.
first one is it may be slightly controversial, but indulge me. That could you at least tell us what, in quotes, modesty is? And I don't mean in a religious context, because sometimes I see people, HR professionals or management staff, always having issues to, come up with boundaries. Of course, I hear you clearly that, for example, industries and sectors will have a role. So if you're in finance, for example, it may be different from if you're in entertainment. If you're in education, for example, and you're a teacher, there are some minimum
Yes.
things we will expect because you are teaching maybe teenagers or children. But what's that reasonable range generally? That's the first question. The second question is around colors. For example, if you check presidents, especially Western countries, you typically see them defer to colors like white shirts, when they wear suits. But sometimes, you see some of our brothers here, sometimes you see them wearing black on black, maybe like you are going for a choir rehearsal, or you sometimes see somebody wear red on black. I'm talking about guys now, and you're almost wondering if they're a magician, So are there general color codes? If you don't mind, do colors signify, maybe white stands for integrity, blue for, I don't know. I'm just asking. You can speak to it however you are comfortable with. My third and final question, sorry, I just said let me ask all the questions at once. You can start from anywhere, and other people on the call too can chime in as they want. Where is the role of designers? Try your talk. You didn't mention Gucci, you didn't mention, let me mention the designers of old that I like, Tommy Hilfiger. I'm sure some people wonder who is Tommy Hilfiger, but it's okay if you don't know. That was what we used to rock back then. When we wear a Tommy Hilfiger, they use a Timberland, all those kind of things. So where does designers come in here? And final question. Budget. What if you don't have a lot of money? Maybe an entry level person, or you may not be entry level, or maybe you have a lot of dependents. You have 3 children, you have to pay school fees, you have to pay rent. Do you need a lot of money, or how do you cope? How do you combine some of these things? Thank you so much. Conle, please don't run away. Your question or your contribution will still be taking place.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So I think let me start as I remember them. The first one was on modesty. Now, like you said, not speaking religiously. Now, for me, modesty is all about maintaining that, how do I put it? You don't have to put everything all out for people to see, and then you know that you're very dressed or you're good, you're well dressed. You don't have to be. Modesty is about that subtle, keep it calm, keep it good. Leave, how they say you leave some things to the imagination, but nowadays you have the chest is all out, the hair is everywhere and all plenty and poofy and all. So modesty, let it be toned down, especially in the industry that you're working in. It's not everywhere that you step into that they want it to be everywhere. So ladies especially, well, not ladies especially, because there's some guys as well, but you also want it to speak about your personality. You want people to actually know you, not to just see everything about you. So for me, that is my own idea of modesty. Look nice, look beautiful, look cute, look approachable, not that you are selling markets, quote and unquote. Let's put it that way. Then for you mentioned the colors. Yes, now people, it's just like people say, I like red. I'm a huge fan of red. I love red. And but people will tell you that red is all about danger. Red signifies danger. Red now in the content signifies diabolical things. No, red is just the color red is the color red. People have read a lot into it and carried it to mean so many things, and it's just the color. So people say white is all angelic, and it shows how clean you are. If you're someone that wears white, then it means you keep your things very clean. So you have series of white top, white shirts, white BYC, like someone said. Yes. Pink is more girly than guys, but I actually have seen guys that wear the color pink. So it doesn't have to be the Barbie pink, it can be baby pink, it can be a blush kind of pink, but it's their colors. So people, now it depends on your style, it depends on the colors you love, and then people have their own colors. They want to stick to the colors that they love, but you can also try other colors. But me, I really don't put all those, red is for this and blue is for this and pink is for this. For the people that do, please, by all means, enjoy it. For me, it's color. I love the color. Do I look good in it? I look good. I love it. I'm good. I move on. Now, designers. Tommy Hilfiger, yes, like awesome. But you know what? Yes, the designers are there. The people that love the designers, please wear the designers. But dressing doesn't have to break the bank. Honestly speaking, it doesn't have to break the bank. And I would tie that to sorry about that. I would tie that to what you said about someone on a budget and someone that has maybe commitments and kids and all. It doesn't have to break the bank. Let me tell you this. There are people that go to Yaba, or there are people that do bend down select, and they get very nice pieces. They wash it and they wear it. I kid you not. You see that person and you're all like, man, that top is so nice. That top is beautiful. Where did you get your top from? And the person is like, Yaba. And like, hey, where in Yaba? And it's like, yeah, just down the road, railway. And you're like, are you serious? It's so beautiful. It's so lovely. That is just it. Nobody says you have to. If you have the money to buy the Tommy Hilfigers and the Gucci's and the LVs and the all, enjoy. Please buy it. You can have statement pieces. You have one or two of these brands in your wardrobe. Lovely, fantastic. But if you don't have that much, please buy nice outfits, not branded. Is it a beautiful top? It is. Is it a nice pant? It is. Is it a bandage dress or a bandage skirt? It is. Buy it and then combine it. By the time you put it together, you would be amazed as to what you get from it. I have outfits in my wardrobe I have had for a couple of years, but anytime I wear those outfits, it's as if I just bought it yesterday. So I'm that kind of person. I love to put things together. I love to look good. I'm very intentional about the way I look. I want someone to see me and see me before I've opened my mouth. You can actually say, this person, I am ready to hear her. And that's the kind of person I am. So you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to kill yourself trying to look good. Feel good. Very important. I hope I've been able to answer some of the questions and I did not go astray or go off track.
Thank you so much. Very spot on. You even got some corners I wanted to mention, but thank God I'm giving one or two people the location. Just in case. And I'm sure some people cannot relate. The only thing they know about Yaba is Yaba left, but it's okay. There are some good things about Yaba. All right, ladies
Yes,
and
yes,
gentlemen.
very.
You may want to check the comment section. There are some interesting
Okay.
comments to read out. Some are just comments, but I think they may be what reading now. For example, Ezine says here, my sister says it is about aura, how one carries what they wear. I love that particular
Very
statement.
good.
My sister
Yes.
Loretta says here, first great day for Yaba, follow who no road.
Yes, so I agree. Yes, first grade.
Chinelo also says here, timeless pieces is the catchphrase, ma'am. She's recurring one of the phrases in some of your sentences. Ezine also says here, it is not about wearing labels, but about wearing nice timeless pieces. Labels upon labels, could even get tacky. And please, no fake labels. It is better to wear Munadi than Gucci. Now, she spelled that Gunchi, so don't think I'm not calling.
No, she even spelled it well. I actually say Gucci Nyere. There's Gucci and there's Gucci Nyere. So stay mindful.
Okay. Aliyu says if you can't buy new designers, buy Okrika designers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
There's no shame.
Please raise your hands if you like to share thoughts, comment, perspective, or you have questions. Just before I call Oluchi, Kunle, are you still there? Please, because you raised your hand as if you are waiting for Ifoma to finish. Kunle, are you still there? All right, so let's take Oluchi. My sister Oluchi, you have the floor, ma.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Ifoma,
evening.
thank you so much for a nice presentation. So mine is a contribution. I think for HR professionals, when we are having interviews, we are having, recruitment processes in our offices, it's good we inform our colleagues from the security man to the person at the front desk. So everybody, let's pretend that even if we are bad people, everybody is at their best behavior. Everybody is well dressed. Because some candidates, the way we are examining, or for the lack of word, the candidate is how the candidate is also examining the organization. If the candidate is, see shabby behavior, shabby dressing at the security post and all that, they may be turned off. So when we're having such exercises, it's best, like you're expecting government officials to come and inspect your organization. You dust everywhere and all that, put everything in order. It's good we let them know. And we also let them know, let's say where you're using, the meeting room is close to the marketing department and they will be sampling some ringtones and all that. You let them know. So either they move to another location or within the period you're having the recruitment exercise, they don't do that sampling to distract the candidates. That is one. Two, we should also mind how you've talked about the HR person dressing properly when they're having an interview or dressing in an acceptable manner. We should also look at how we behave when we are conducting interviews. I attended an interview some years ago. I don't even know how God made me keep quiet. And we were in the room, and suddenly the interviewer, who maybe is the HR person, I don't know, now said, she spoke language to the other person, and the next thing they brought broom. I still remember the office is in Ikeja, and they started chasing fly while I was sitting there. I just said, it's just 20 more minutes, you're out of here. And I never bothered going back. That was the height of it, right? So we should also mind how we, behave towards candidates. Then, there's something we used to do in my former place of work. When we are done with the interview, especially with young graduates, if there's something they didn't do right, they didn't dress well, their CVs are not properly put together and all that, we let them know, oh, interview is over, but you need to do this for in case you're going to some other company. Some we go ahead to, employ them. It's not part of the recruitment exercise. We just give them that little 10 minutes mentoring, coaching, or whatever you might want to call it, and say, oh, don't dress this way, do this to your CV and all that. It helps because we might assume we are all in the internet age, is every information is available there, but we all come from different backgrounds. Some people are not that lucky to have people around them that can point them to the right direction or something. So they just come as they know or the little they know. For virtual interview, just like your background, we should also be careful about our background. We shouldn't put on things at our background we don't know of. So I had an experience where I had something at my background, and immediately I think it was a CEO I met some time ago. The interview was about my background, what was on my background. He asked me what was on my background. After he introduced himself, he said, what's that on your background? I told him. He said, what does it mean? I told him. He said, what is the correlation between that and your HR profession? And I told him. That was all the interview. So we should be prepared. We should know what we are putting on our DPs, on our backgrounds. We don't know who we'll be meeting and where they will be coming from. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I do agree with the part of after the interview and then giving your 2 cents and advice to candidates. It's something that I actually do when necessary, when I need to. I actually do that, especially maybe there's a way they've dressed or maybe the way they've responded or what they've said. I usually do that. It does go a long way. For those that understand and appreciate it, it goes a long way. So well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Uncle K, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Baba. This is a very, very important topic that we often trivialize, but thank you for spotlighting it for us. We really appreciate you, Ifoma. Dr. Adeosho mentioned something about modesty, and that really got me thinking. You actually answered it, but really got me thinking that how do we come across as really saying what modesty is? And I think to a large extent, to me, I would rather say it's industry specific. Okay, what is modesty in a financial institution might be overly corporate or overly covering in an entertainment industry. Okay, so and what is moderate or termed as modesty in an entertainment industry probably in banking would be termed as outrageous. Okay, so I think it's rather industry specific, and we should be very careful to look at the industry we operate and look at what is acceptable there, and then following that line so that we don't use the modesty of one industry in another industry. It might not really fit in. So it's quite subjective, as you have said, but that's just my contribution. And lastly, you have said this very well. First thing that anyone sees when they come across you is your appearance. And you have told us how we should appear. We should look good, whether for interview, whether physical or online, your aura and all that. But to me, I would just like to add that it's good to dress well. I mean, that's the first thing people see before you even open your mouth to confirm that you're actually a good person or otherwise. But I think I would like to implore us that beyond our dressing and our good looks and our smart dressing, we should also have good behavior, good conduct, and good way of people management skill, so that we will complement our dressing with our good behavior. That's also very important, to complement that good dressing that you have told us, the good appearance you have told us. so that you become a wonderful personality, a total package. Thank you very much.
Isn't it says 100 bottles of Zobo for you, Sake?
Oh, thank you for your contribution. So one thing I'm sure we need to add, and I'm sure it will have been addressed, is that our smile is part of our dressing. I'll say that again. Our smile is part of our dressing. If you dress well and you are frowning your face, your countenance will not let the beauty of your apparel show. So please, I know things can be tight, difficult. Some of us live in Mowe and we work at Lekki Phase 4, in quotes. So you go through traffic, stress, but please, the economy is not smiling. Please, let's wear our smile as much as possible. Very, very important. Just to add that to the behavior of okay has brought to the table. Some people think some people are snobbish, and they are not.
Yeah.
But just because they almost permanently keep a straight face, almost frowning, just to be conservative. So please, let's smile as much as possible. Let's smile. I think I see a long message here. I'm tempted to read it because it's from my sister, Quinsley. Don't mind me. I can be subjective depending on who the
No, it's
person
actually
is.
so it's actually from Kunle. I think whether he's having network issues or something, but I think he sent it to her to send in. I had asked the question on traditional wear being an indigenous attire. So his
Okay.
response, yes. So
Okay.
his response to it. So you want to read it out or do I quickly read it out?
You can read it out, please.
Okay, so on wear being our indigenous attire, I agree with that, and I am a firm supporter of it being a part of our official or even our mainstay attire. I personally find it very comfortable and feel better in it. However, I am not ignorant to the reality that I cannot wear it to every occasion or to the office always. Would I wear it on a Friday to an interview? That heavily depends on the kind of company I am going to. It is the same way I would not wear a t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers to an interview. While we can say that suit and tie is the Western way of dressing, it is still the most official and accepted mode of dressing in the corporate space. First impression matters a lot. If you are not the owner of the company or going for an investor meeting, business casual is the safest and best way to go. Jeans in any way is not business casual if you're not an engineer. Comment from Kunde. Okay. All right. So Quincy, you can tell him thank you for responding to that. Yes, very true. Yeah, I asked that question because I met people that said, it's native, we wear native at any point in time. It's supposed to be incorporated into the dress code policy and all, we're Africans, so we wear native. And I actually agree, I feel the same way Kuni does. Yes, we know it's our African attire, but for in the corporate sense, unless you're the CEO or owner of the company, please, business casual. Like I said, one of the slides, business casual and corporate casual tend to just, mix up and, you go from one place to another. But business casual is the easiest for most people to incorporate, and it's still comfortable and still very, very good and looks appealing. So yes, that's it for me.
So let me just add one or two things here before you do your closing remarks very quickly.
No, sorry. Chinelo asked a question, and I'm like, no.
Okay.
Shredded jeans? No, Chinelo, come on.
So you will see that if you are a politician, don't forget that's an industry. If you're a politician, you are Agbada or Baba. Sometimes if you wear corporate English
corporate.
words, you may not pull your constituency. They will even misinterpret it and say you are not connecting. So if you are from that industry, your Babariga, your Senegal, I've worked in an organization where they allow native for women. Pay attention to this. They allow native for women, but the women will sew the native in English style. I'm sure Informa can relate. So you can use native fabrics, but maybe so skirts and blouse and so not Iro and Buba. Not sorry, I don't know Iro and Buba in English, so you can help me to interpret. I didn't go to proper school, I'm still learning. Not Iro and Buba. So funny enough, they were not allowing men, but the women used to look smart and sharp around it. The final thing I would say, then we'll take a contribution or comment or both from my brother, Bibi Dollar, is that if you look at it from an HSC perspective, health, safety, environment, you see our dress code to have safety risk embedded. So if you check how some of our native, I'm not saying all, some of our native, either they are very long, agbada, for example. So just imagine you are in a factory, industry, it may have safety concerns. You understand? While some clothes may be sewn, fitted, if you are wearing some native and you now need to wear a PPE, PPE is, what do you call it? Protective equipment on top, it can cause some complications and it can be uncomfortable or it can be risky. So please don't forget that our dress code does not only consider being corporate, it also considers the hazards, any potential hazard, depending on the kind of job the role player is doing. Bibi Dollar, sir, you have the floor, please. And then we'll come back to you for our reactions and closing remarks.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I just posted the question in the chat box. Well, let me just read it. It has to do with what you said with regards to dress code and everything. So the question is this: for some of us who work in environments where you have people from various cultures, various religions, how do you balance enforcing a professional dress code while respecting employees' cultural, religious, and personal expressions of style in a diverse corporate environment? Talking about an environment where you have lots of Indians, Pakistanis, you have people from other parts of the Middle East, Western Europe, and this is an organization in Nigeria. So you are trying to balance the Nigerian side of it, but also knowing that you have people from various parts of the world and they have their own cultural and
Is it me or my brother's network?
His network,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, but I think
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. We lost you for
I
like
said I
30
put the
seconds.
question in the chat box though, but let me just repeat what I wrote. For instance, for some of us who have worked or who work in environments where you have people from various cultural backgrounds, you have people from the Middle East, you have people from Western Europe, Eastern Europe. So how do you balance enforcing a professional dress code while respecting employees' cultural, religious, and personal expressions of style in a diverse corporate environment?
If I'm over to you, please.
Like they say, if I'm over to you.
You are our guest speaker. Let me put it that way. You are the subject matter expert.
Okay,
How
so
convenient.
so in this now, like you said, diverse, we're actually not any company, but the company is trying to accommodate the various religions, the various culture, personal expressions, and you want to be able to balance this with the Nigerian dress code. And the honest truth is there has to be, you can't now, because you have different set of cultures and individuals and personalities, you have to be able to ensure that you meet, for lack of words, meet people halfway, for lack of words. The dress code or your policy should also understand or should also accommodate or respect their own individualities or their own what's it called? their own cultures. Thank you. Their own individualities or their own cultures. It's just like you have the Muslims in Nigeria here, and then you can't say because the Muslims, you know, they always use their hijab and all, and you cannot say because of that they're not, your dress code doesn't allow it, everybody should make their hair and everybody should do this. No, you also permit that, but you permit that, okay, in some cases they have like plain colors or they have neutral colors, and then and then you also have to ensure that that also makes sense, so that you carry people along, and then you respect their cultures as well. They're coming to work in Nigeria, yes, very understood, but they're also coming with their various cultures, and then it's inclusivity. You want to make sure that they also embody what you're doing in your Nigeria here or in your own company. So your policy should be all round and cut across. Sorry, someone said
Awesome.
something.
Awesome. Quick one.
Oh,
Let me
okay,
just
BB,
give
you're
a
still
model.
talking.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to give you a model situation, right? In the office,
Oh,
we have a couple of Indians. I know how the Indian ladies dress.
there's
You have a
saris.
sari, you have your top. Then let's just put it this way: the Indian ladies have this thing. Their bellies are always showing, right? Now we have a dress code, and decency is all part of it. And our Nigerian ladies or ladies from Kenya, other parts of Africa are seeing this, and to them, we are strict. We are stricter on them, but by the time the experts come in, we are kind of relaxed. So now, from the HR perspective, how do you balance this? Because it seems, to be honest, you are being unfair as HR. You can allow a foreigner to do this, an Indian to come into the office with their belly showing because, oh, it's part of their cultural dress, it's part of their attire. But a Nigerian, you will not allow that. Why? How do you now, as HR, resolve such issues?
The way you're even asking the question is like you're even fighting the HR.
I think Ezine will help us answer this.
It's like you're even
Ezine
fighting
to the
the
rescue,
HR.
please.
Like
I'm the
have they
HR.
harassed you?
I know what I'm saying.
I know, like
Trust
it's like
me.
you're fighting. Like have they harassed you about it? Isn't it? You want to say something too?
Yeah, because I have worked with, I have been in the setting of a diverse community. I mean, I've worked where, in fact, it was like a rainbow nation. We had people, but I mean, Dr. Yemi, you remember Delta Africa. So we had all kinds of, nationalities. But what I remember is that, so we would have, so again, we were oil and gas servicing, right? So we were not particularly strict on our dress code. However, one of the things that was underlining in our dress policy, because it became a debate and it became a bit of a headache for us HR, the question we would ask is, if the MD called you to go with him for a business meeting, would you be comfortable with what you were wearing to go with him for that meeting? And that pretty much cleared the debate. So, yes, dress business casual. However, don't be too casual that you're ashamed to go. I mean, you would look at yourself twice to think of going with the MD for a meeting. And yes, we had the Indians, but then the Indians, yes, they would wear their saris, but it was more of them. So on Fridays, we had the dress down. People could dress down and they would wear their sari, they would wear their traditional stuff, on Fridays. But during the week, we didn't really see too much of diversion from you wear your shirt and your trouser. Yes, the women would wear their saris, but I don't recall anybody showing their bellies. But at a point, it was more of inclusion. Everybody began to realize that, okay, you know what, these people are from a different culture and there are certain things we would cover. Yes, we did have the Americans that were brash. I remember they would come in shorts on Monday and we had to put our feet down and say, hey, Oga, we know that's how you do it in Texas, but it's not going to happen here. So you have to, you might be, because when you're sitting in a client meeting, we don't want you you're sitting in a client meeting with Mobile, Chevron, and you're wearing shorts and whatever. And no, so essentially we tried as much as possible to have, I would say, like 95% compliance, dress your business casual Monday to Friday, then everybody dress down on Monday to Thursday, then dress down on Friday. It doesn't mean that you should go rogue on Friday, but at least there was a bit of, it was lighter on Friday, that, okay, fine, we'll relax with you. So that was how we navigated it. Trust me, I understand you, Bibiola. It's a crazy situation. And especially with these times now, you have to you're balancing so many things at a time. So you probably may not have 100% compliance, but to some extent, like I said, think about it. If the MD pointed out to you and said, come, do you come with me to a meeting? Would you be comfortable with, going to that meeting with that person? And I mean, I think that pretty much helped us to a large extent.
There's this, I even wanted to ask Z. So the sari, there's this, there's a top and bottom one, then there's the one that looks like, will I say the Senegalese and all, because I know
Yes,
that there
there's
are
a
also
dress.
females that
Yes,
wear that as well. Yes.
yes.
So I
And so we
know
had more of people wearing that. Like I said, I don't recall
is
anybody wearing
exactly. So
the midriffs. We had, because these people have worked in other locations too. So
mhm,
nobody's really coming to the office to come and show their bellies, to be honest. I mean, I see a lot more of that now that I'm in
Dan
entertainment.
is
Oh my God, you
exactly.
see crazy things. Even me, I'm a very liberal person. The things I see, I'm like, huh? And, it's like a bit of a culture shock, but I'm like, isn't it? You're in entertainment, so deal with it. And it's
Deal
because
with
we are on
it,
site.
exactly.
Yes, we are on
So
site.
deal
So
with
if the
it.
person is wearing bomb shorts and cropped up, man, we are here to do the work. Oh. My own is, can you do the work? Let's do the work.
That's
So
all that matters at this point in time.
that's what
So
matters to me.
Bibi, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bibi, maybe that's another option. If instead of them wearing the two-piece and showing the belly, they also have the full ones that they can wear. That can be another option for them to try. Because I know organizations that do that. Instead of the two-piece, they wear the other
All
one,
right.
and
So
then maybe.
when
Are you there?
His network is having underbelly problems.
it being hot.
Okay, I think the network is bad. Oh, it seems like Kunle is back.
Oh yeah,
Kunle,
Kunle,
put your hand
quickly.
down.
Kunle, quickly, we're about to share the grace.
All right, no problem, sir. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Ifama, for this very insightful session. Yes, I said that. So just to quickly say something to the question that Bibi has asked. We all know that for the saris that the Indians wear, there are different variations of it, like Z has pointed out already. And for a Nigerian that now comes out and says, "Oh, you can see the Indians with their dress, they're showing their belly," we know why they are doing that. We already know why they are doing that. And I think one of the major things as HR that we over time have come to learn is that we should always just try to play every party. Now in this situation now is a matter of having different sessions with the different groups to just make them understand that okay, this is a corporate environment, and in Nigeria, in this place where you find yourself, these are some of the things, rules of engagement, rules that guide dressing that we are trying to implement. We would like your buy-in. As a concession, we can have you dress in your sari on Fridays. We can have you dress maybe like we can have like a month, a day in a month, or a week in a month where we just try to just make something very informal, just to include everybody, and we just throw it to the entire company and say, okay, oh, this day we are declaring this week as cultural week, something like that, just to include them, but have that different conversations with the different groups before even now coming out saying, okay, we are enforcing this Monday to Thursday. We dress corporate. It is shirts and trousers, blouse and skirts, your blouse shirts and your trousers, your heels and all of that. Just have that meeting with them. I'm very certain that by the time we do that as HR, we communicate, have it in smaller groups, we would definitely get 80 to 90% buying. Not saying there will not be the 10% that will grumble about it, but when they see the majority already following the rules, they will definitely follow it. And also have the buy-ins of the top management, because if they don't also buy in as top management, if they don't buy in as top management, all you are doing is you are trying your best to enforce a change that might probably take you very long to implement. So I want to believe that if we're able to do all of that and then have some change champions within each of these smaller groups, add certain one or two people that can be your change champions, the ones that will be the ones to say, oh, hey guys, HR is really trying their best to just ensure that we have a very safe workplace and we don't want to open ourselves up to certain kind of harassment and sorry, at Kunle, how do you justify and manage the ethical implications where HR and it's easier said than done. I'm not saying that it is easy. I'm not saying it's something that's going to happen in 1 week. I'm not saying it's something that's going to happen in one meeting. I'm not saying it's going to happen in a year. In fact, all I'm saying is that we can't stop, we can't stop shying away because let's be very factual. If you go to India, they will force you to follow their own culture, their own rules and regulations. So we can't always now ride on the premise of they're expatriates or they're just here for a while and then we just leave them. If you go to America, for instance, and you now choose to dress the way they do, nobody's going to stop you and say, oh, from Nigeria you're coming, you people always wear trousers and shirts. But if they enforce the rule for you where you're going to rather, then yes, we should be able to do the same thing. And that is where getting the buy-in of everybody, management, smaller groups, change champions will really go a long way. It might not just happen as quickly as we want it to, but it can still happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just to say something in one sentence, when we are bringing expatriates on board, especially by the time you're having conversations around offer letter with them, you also run them through some pre-onboarding activities. You tell them, oh, this is the culture of the organization. This is the culture in the country. Are you comfortable? Part of what we tell expatriates, we have malaria here. Do you know about malaria? We can even send you a PowerPoint slide on malaria. So even if we can tell you about malaria, we also let you know about, that, oh, we don't allow rainbow. Our local laws does not encourage rainbow yet. Those kind of conversations. So that before they accept the offer, and then you spend money, you fly them over, and they now begin to become unnecessarily stubborn. You give them information so that if it significantly matters to them, then maybe they weigh their options. And one more thing I would like to add is that our dress code is not just a function of our organization. It's a function of our industry and a function of our stakeholders. I'm sure even in entertainment, the day you are going to meet the minister, you will dress in a certain way. Maybe you are going to meet the president or you are going to meet a Bank of Industry for funds. It will be moderated. So your stakeholders sometimes also moderate, maybe not your everyday wear, but your specific wears. I dropped a comment in the chat. I said, it doesn't matter which country we are from. If you are a chef, you will cover your hair. Your religion will not matter. Your tribe will not matter. It doesn't matter whether you are Yoruba, Shekiri, Igbo, Indian. Why? If you don't cover your hair, it's a hazard for the food. So last point is that our dress code is also a function of our job. If you're an engineer, at certain things, wear anything you want. The end result is you will wear overall. When you wear overall, we won't even see what you are wearing. If you're a doctor, you will wear a lab coat. So please, let's also put those specific job roles, safety and functionality into play. Informa is so funny that when offline we were having a conversation about today and we are talking about 30 minutes, and now we are struggling with finishing in 90 minutes. Yeah, it is well. Over to you, my sister.
But it's actually been a very fun session. Very fun session. Thank you so much, everyone, for your questions, the insights, the comments. Also, even I learned a lot. Yes, Kunle, very insightful, very, very insightful. But it's good to know that our appearance directly affects the way people perceive us, our confidence, your authority, like that Dr. Deoshin said, depending on your industry, you still have to dress accordingly, whether we like it or not. The chef, you have to wear the hat, whether you like it or not. The people you're going to meet, if you're going to see the president, automatically you will dress appropriately. No one will even tell you. If you're going to meet a potential investor or a stakeholder, you will dress accordingly. So let's all just be, very mindful of the way we dress. Your smile, always have a smile on your face. I've been smiling since. Always have a smile. Your smile draws people to you. It tells a lot about you just by smiling. It actually says a lot about you, and you want people to be comfortable with you. Want people to be happy with you. Smell nice. Yes, Chinelo, smell nice. You don't want to be a walking BO in that organization. So please smell nice. Smiling is a dressing on its own. Yes, it is. So thank you so much, everyone. I have had so much fun. It's been very, very engaging. And I look forward to doing more of this. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Deoshin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's unmute. I'm tempted to say, since we are talking about dressing, show your face, show your dress. Let's celebrate our participator.
Please,
Don't worry, we allow.
Please,
What's the name of the Indian dress?
Rub your rough sleeve.
Please.
Me, I'm a native. I'm rocking my native, Taylor Laurent.
Thank you very much, Ifoma.
Thank
you, Ify. Good night, everyone.
Eniola, I like your
Hey,
outfit.
Eniola,
Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ifoma. Thank you, doctor.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, Ifoma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a very fantastic night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank
you, Ma.
I heard that.
Eniola, I can see your stakeholder. We celebrate you, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Ify, for the insightful session.
Oh, all right already.
Very insightful.
It's almost 9 o'clock.